This is TW Wrestling Talk here, the rare weekend edition, or segment, I should say. This isn't a typical full edition of TW Wrestling Talk, but I decided to drop a segment of TW Wrestling Talk over the weekend due to the news that CM Punk, some breaking news here. Not really breaking news, but at this point, but I'm sure it's well known by now. CM Punk had got knee surgery, and as a result, won't be able to compete at TLC. They say he'll be out of action for a few weeks. So to me, this might be a blessing in disguise if you think about it, because well, they're gonna have instead Ryback team up with Kane and Daniel Bryan against the Shield. Good way to, tables, ladders, and chairs match. For the most part, a same stipulation, but a 3-on-3 tag match. And you know what? It makes pretty good sense too with the recent events on Raw, this past week, and over the weeks, the feud with Ryback. It's a good way to kind of good first match for the Shield, who they seem like a faction with good potential, good heel faction, and I think a tables, ladders, and chairs match with these kind of weapons involved, I think available. I think it makes for a good match for them to be thrusted into, and with Kane and Daniel Bryan, the people love them. Daniel Bryan obviously in a different way, but of course Ryback, rising star. This is good for them too. This is all across the board. I think it's good for them all. Although I think the only thing missing with this match, I think, is a stipulation such as the winning team gets a spot, gets the last 3 spots in the Royal Rumble. I think that's only fair, given that Ryback he's been in the WWE title picture lately. Kane and Daniel Bryan, they're the tag team champions. Or the Shield, knocking off 3 pretty big stars. I think would earn them the right to be in the last few spots in the Royal Rumble. That's not my original idea, by the way. That I just actually read a report on Bleacher Report about this, this knee injury, but I think that would be a good idea. Add some kind of stipulation. That would make it a bigger deal too, because last 3 spots in the Royal Rumble, that could be very interesting. So I think that would benefit them if they did something like that. And Kane, Daniel Bryan, Ryback, I think, as far as how they should go about deciding this match, who should win, the Shield, given that they're fresh, I know that the easy thing to say is that they just wrap it up right here with the Shield and Ryback and this whole thing. I think what they should do is find some kind of way that Kane or Daniel Bryan gets pinned. Obviously, you don't want the Shield pinning Ryback. I think the goal for WWE here should be to have the Shield win, have them look strong. It's their first match, and it would definitely keep their momentum going that they've kind of built here in the past few weeks. If they win, so find a way that maybe Ryback gets knocked out of the picture temporarily, and then something happens where and Daniel Bryan or Kane, gets put through a table or just, gets put in the finishing move that the Shield does, and have him get pinned, baby, so that the Shield keeps their momentum going. Ryback doesn't fall to the hands of them directly, of the Shield, and it can kind of keep a little feud going. And if, like I said, if they had a Royal Rumble stipulation, um, where then the Shield could be the last three guys in the Royal Rumble, and then maybe at some point, maybe Kane, Daniel Bryan, and Ryback are all, you know, in the ring when they come out. Those three guys come out, maybe. Maybe if they can kind of battle it out a little more there. Um, Maybe that's where the they the Ryback can try to get revenge on those guys and maybe eliminate them from the Royal Rumble. Um, Kind of keep that feud going. I think I think that would be an interesting step in the right direction. I think if they did that, um, I could I could maybe see something like that happening if they went ahead with um, such a stipulation for this TLC match. Um, but anyways, kind of back to the bigger part of this with CM Punk's knee injury. Um, at least he will still be able to be a part of, still be able to face The Rock at the Royal Rumble. Um, as long as they don't have a title match on Raw, like say Ryback is said to get another rematch, um, sometime. So maybe they'll do that on Raw, sometime before the Royal Rumble. Um, if they do, I wonder how they would work in another finish that Ryback would lose, but not really lose clean. As it seems WWE isn't intent on doing that right now. Um, which I don't know. I mean, it'll be interesting to see if they do something like that. But either way, I mean, CM Punk, I don't see how he doesn't face The Rock at the Royal Rumble. Um, it's good that they've handled this injury now so that he doesn't have to miss the Royal Rumble and be banged up too bad for that and kind of spoil everything. So um, that should be interesting. And since there was not going to be a WWE Championship match here at TLC, I think that only makes the one at the Royal Rumble even bigger with The Rock. Um, it's kind of inevitable now that's kind of what we're looking towards next for the WWE champion CM Punk. Um, Again, unless they have a surprise title shot for Ryback. We'll have to wait and see for that. But as far as what they've done, how they're handling this, I think is pretty good. I think the 3-on-3 TLC match was interesting. A good decision. It'll be interesting to see if CM Punk sitting ringside or for the match, because I think they'd like to have him involved in the pay-per-view in some way. It'll be interesting to see what they do on Raw with how CM Punk um, talks about his injury and whatnot, and see how they work that in. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's that old 30-day rule about having to defend the championship once at least once every 30 days. That's been out the window, and that's really not an issue here. Um, as for example, there was uh, between Night of Champions and Hell in a Cell, there was about a 6-week gap where CM Punk didn't defend his title, just because that's the way WWE scheduled it. So you know, you add that up, that's about 42 days. Um, of so that obviously that rule is clearly at the window, um, and I think plenty of I think people who know that rule kind of just forget about it, and then there's a bunch of people that don't even really know about that rule just because that it hasn't really been in play in such a long time. So um, they're handling this well, and can't disagree with the decision they're making. Decision they made for tables, ladders, and chairs for the tag match. And I think it'll be interesting to see what how this injury and this new direction shapes things up on Raw and SmackDown in the coming week and weeks following TLC pay-per-view. All right, that'll wrap it up for this rare segment of TW Wrestling Talk here over the weekend. Thanks for listening, as always, and please subscribe to TW Wrestling Talk and stay tuned um, for next week's edition of TW Wrestling Talk, um, coming up after next week's edition of Monday Night Raw. All right, thanks for watching. Take it easy.